Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you our group curriculum for the school year of 2023 to 2024. So if you enjoy this type of content, please remember to subscribe and let's get into it. Okay, so at this point, curriculum videos for my 6th grader, my 5th grader, my 3rd grader, and my 1st grader have all come out. So I'll try to remember to link them below. So if you want to check those out and see what they're doing for their individual subjects, then you can do that. But today we're going to discuss kind of what we do for either morning basket, group time, family time. There's several different names that people use in the homeschool world, but it's usually the first thing we do in our school day, and it takes about an hour, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter. And so I'm going to show you what our curriculum picks were for that. Okay, so the first thing we do when we start the day together is scriptures. So this year we have been studying the New Testament, and we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so in January, we'll switch what we're studying because we study at church by the calendar year, not the academic year. And so I create this booklet for my kids from the Come Follow Me study curriculum, which is what the church puts out. And it just goes through some of the stories. They've already drawn pictures. I don't have ones for what we'll use in the fall yet. But we just talked about parables of lost things like the lost sheep and the lost coins and then the prodigal son and all those things. So we use this and go through the scriptures. I'll read from my Bible to them, whatever scriptures we're going through. And then I also will create bingo cards. And so this one mostly has lots of parables or stories from the Gospels. And so that then we'll use that to review. And then also there's online resources. There's the Redheaded Hostess, which we have really liked. And she also provides like weekly activities and different things for a variety of age groups, from very young children through older. It's $10 a month and you get access to all these things. And also just your personal study notes if you want some extra study helps. But like this one, there's a video that goes along with it. And it's talking about the lost sheep. I think there's one for the prodigal son. And so my kids will just watch the video and then pick which is the correct answer. And then it also has like a scripture study thing if you want them to get into studying the scriptures. This one talks about the 10 lepers more right here, and it'll tell them to mark certain things. It might give them definitions and things like that. So that is like the first thing we do. And then along with that time, because our other subjects for group work take a little bit longer, but our scripture study is usually about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll do a journal entry. We've been pretty good about this actually the last few months, and so I just got these ones. Journaling is very important to me. I've been journaling since I was a teenager, pretty much every single day. And so this one I just found off of Amazon. It's 1 question a day for kids. And the nice thing about this is it doesn't have a year written in, and it allows you to go for 3 years, which is really nice. And then you can see how their viewpoints change right there. Like, I think that's fun. Like it'll be fun too for my youngest. Well, she's not my youngest, but my youngest school child, because she's going into 1st grade. And some of her answers are just, they're so sweet. And then as she gets older, it'll just be interesting to see how they change, because more exposure, more experience changes our answers to things. So it'll just ask something simple like, describe your day in 1 word. When was the last time you were sick? Okay, so they can just write. It has like March 6th, March 7th. They write the year, they fill it in. So we have some that we've done that are filled in. And then there's obviously a lot that are blank, but it's just been from the beginning of this year that we've really tried to do it better. So we do some sort of journaling. And then I've also been trying to do some sort of mindfulness. So we've currently been using this book. We're going through it another time, and we went through it a few years ago as well. But this is Breathe Like a Bear. They also have a few other ones, so maybe we'll try some of the other ones as well. But if we don't do this, it's like maybe a minute. I think maybe we've done this once, so I won't even say, or twice, where I'll just have them sit there and just take some deep breaths so that we're just kind of all calmed down, and it helps them to think about being mindful of what's going on in their bodies and taking those deep breaths. But that's what this does, and they're very short exercises. It'll have one, so this is hot chocolate. There's one where you imagine a candle, but you're not trying to blow out the flame. You're just taking in these deep breaths and blowing very slowly and stuff. So they're very simple exercises, but they help give kids some visuals. So when they're stressed out, when they're having a hard time, or maybe when they can't even go to sleep at night or something, these are things that they can do, and they can take some deep breaths. So that's currently what we've been using and what we're gonna continue using, and maybe add in some other things, I'm not quite sure yet. Okay, and then we're gonna be doing some science units from the Good and the Beautiful. We really, really love their science units. They're just so much fun. They're very simple, very like low prep on me, you know, and usually they'll let you know in advance. You can go through and pick everything you need, and it's just very simple. So we do science Monday and Wednesday, so just twice a week. And I picked out a few things that I think I picked 5 science units. I have a lot. They've been revising them and all of them look so exciting and good. So I'm like, okay, we'll try this. And so I picked out 5. We'll see if it stays the same, or we might get through more of them, or we might not, I don't know. Like usually we can go through them pretty quickly. So the ones that I thought would be cool is the botany one. So the book looks like this, and this one's actually pretty hefty, so it might take a little bit longer, but it also might be something we start during the summertime, because where we live, that's the best time to study this stuff, because then we drop into October and like months and months of winter where you can't really access stuff outside like this. So we might start that. And then I got 3 of the student journals. I'm gonna drop books all over the floor. I got 3 student journals, so my first grader won't be doing it. Like we'll make copies of things if it's like a simple enough activity, but I don't get her own booklet yet. But this is for grades 3 through 6th. They have the extension ones for 7th through 8th. And then throughout this book, it'll have extension activities as well for older kids. And so that's what I got for that. And then it came with, you know, I recommend buying the book bundle. So you buy those, you buy the workbook, you know, you can buy as many of these as you need. And then also buying the book bundle is fun, just because it'll reference it in the workbook, or whatever you call this, the manual. I can't think of the name right now. And then you can go through and read it. But this one has way more books than some of the other ones, so it was a little bit more expensive. So you have the Carl in the Garden and Plant Hunters, and then there's this flower study book. Sorry, I have a nice glare going on there. But then it also came with a game, which I don't usually see them come with games, so that one's fun. And then I usually buy the 7th and 8th grade books too that they recommend. They usually have like one book that's for the older kids, and I usually get it as well. So this is Trees in Their World. So we might read this as part of our read alouds for that day. I'm not completely sure yet. And then I also thought it'd be fun to do the marine biology one. My parents are really big scuba divers and have been my whole life. I don't scuba dive, but they love it so much. My dad should have been born a fish. He says that all the time, just because he feels more at home under the water than he does above it. But I just thought this would be fun. Maybe they'll have something to talk to Grandma and Grandpa about. And then again, the student journal with that. And this one came with a few books. So there's the dive book for coral reefs and some sea creatures. And then I think this was for the extension for the 7th and 8th graders. This is the ocean floor. And then I picked geology, because who doesn't want to study about rocks? Because kids love rocks. And so this is the book. Again, this is a thicker one. Some of these are longer and some are shorter. So again, that'll factor into how many we're able to get done. But this is the geology one, and this one came with like a rocks and mineral kit as part of it. And it has a book to study those, and then the world beneath my feet student workbook. And then talking about caves, I believe, I think this is for this, maybe this, I don't think it's for the marine biology. I think this is for the geology one. I can't keep track. I have so many, like I said. And then the first 2 science units I think we'll go through, besides maybe doing botany in the summer, is safety. So there's just safety in general, which this would be a good one to go over in the summer too, as kids are out playing more. And so we have the workbook with that. But this one not only covers, some safety for younger children, but also safety online, which is now also becoming an issue for younger children, not just those like teenagers or adults that have access to it. So there's a cyber safety book with questions and answers. And then the last one that I thought would be good is Health and the Human Mind. So just this is something everybody needs to go through and to talk about, and the importance of that. There's lots of issues, there's lots of emotional struggles, and it's important to know how to handle it. So these are the books. So a memory one that's talking about our memories, and then this also comes, this is the 7th and 8th, but I will go through these with my younger kids anyways. But the addiction questions and answers book, so it has stuff with social media, drugs, alcohol, tobacco and vaping, and all that kind of stuff. So those are the science units we're hoping to get through. Like I said, you usually can easily get them done in a quarter, like if you split your year into quarters. And then some of them might get done faster and some might take a little bit longer, just depending on how long each unit is. Okay, since we do science on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have another subject we cover on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we don't really do as strict school schedule on Fridays. We just more play games or get some things done around the house that we need to do. So last year we did history from the Good and the Beautiful on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which was fine. History curriculum in general is just a struggle. It's really hard to find something that's fun, that's engaging, and also that doesn't take a lot of prep work. And I feel like the Good and the Beautiful does a good job, but I just needed a break from history. And so we finished level 1 just barely, or year 1. They have it divided into 4 years. And I saw someone mention about, is it Knotgrass? Is that how you say it? Curriculums, and I think they do history as well. It's been several months since I bought this, but I believe that that's why I first looked at it, was because of history. But I saw that they had our 50 states, and the curriculum looked kind of like fun and different. And we haven't studied US geography for a couple years, and so I just thought it would be fun to do this. So I bought the book. So this is like the teacher book right here, and that's gonna go through the states. And then it had the options for this atlas workout, and then an answer key and literature guide, because we all know I need help sometimes with an answer key. And so it goes in here with the answer key and like the literature guide here in the back. And I got a workbook for my 3 older kids. And then again, if there's something that my younger daughter wants to try out or that's easy enough for her, we'll make a copy. But it's nice too because it's also in color, which I think makes it a lot more fun. But there's some different activities in here as you go through the states. And then it also comes with a bunch of readers right here. Some of them I've heard of, some of them I haven't. So there's like the Trumpet of the Swan and the Rabbit Hill, maybe I've heard of, I don't remember. But there's a bunch of books right here that also come with it, and that you don't have to read along with it, but you can, which also helps it be more of a history curriculum, I feel like, because then you're also studying people from history, like George Washington Carver is on here as one of the books and stuff. So it'll kind of be, it's a geography thing, but you're also learning about history as you're going through all the different states. So we'll see how it goes. Sorry, my throat is not being nice right now. We'll see how it goes as we go throughout the year. I'll have to report on how we like it and how my kids like it and all that. But I'm excited to try it out and to just switch up our curriculum a little bit, because doing the same thing gets monotonous and boring. So I'm excited to try something different. Okay, and then the last thing we usually have is like a reader that we go through every single day after we finish everything. And my kids will work on their handwriting while I read to them. And so, like I said, for the 50 states, these came with it, and we don't usually have time to read a lot of books, and my voice can't handle reading tons of books. So usually just whatever reader comes with this is sufficient. And then I'm not sure what we'll do on the science days. Maybe it depends on how fast we need to get through some of these readers. We might just read those also on the science days, or I might pick a few other books from our bookshelf that we haven't gotten to yet. I haven't quite figured that out. We'll just kind of see how everything is going, and we'll have a newborn in the fall, so that's also gonna be a little bit tricky, just trying to see what we can actually get done in a school day. So we'll see, but we usually add some sort of additional, like me reading aloud to my kids. Okay, so that is our group work for the coming school year. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful, maybe give you some ideas. If you have any curriculum you just love for your like group, family work, whatever you wanna call it, please comment it down below, because it's always fun to see new curriculum ideas and just what other people enjoy doing. And remember to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.